This trespass involved the entire Commonwealth nations over many decades and centuries, and sly moves towards a global New World Order for Rome. The old Rome never died, it just changed tactics. Reformation really pulled the wind from Rome's sails, and it's been fighting on ever since to reclaim what it had lost. This New World Order is still in play right now and continues slowly eroding our rightful constitutional Commonwealth, all its resources and assets, all the while fleecing you, the public, dry. The Stone of Scone. Now to their Stone of Scone argument. The Kingdom of Australia mob have stated we received a coronation stone for services rendered, a stone they themselves refer to as the Stone of Scone, or Stone of Destiny. So let's look into this a little. Stone of Scone, also called Stone of Destiny, Scottish Gaelic Lear Fail, stone that for centuries was associated with the crowning of Scottish kings, and then, in 1296, was taken to England and later placed under the coronation chair. The stone, weighing 336 pounds, 152 kilos, is a rectangular block of pale yellow sandstone, almost certainly of Scottish origin, measuring 26 inches, 66 centimetres by 11 inches, 41 centimetres, and 11 inches, 28 centimetres. A Latin cross is its only decoration. According to one Celtic legend, the stone was once the pillow upon which the patriarch Jacob rested at Bethel when he beheld the visions of angels. From the Holy Land it purportedly travelled to Egypt, Sicily and Spain and reached Ireland about 700 BCE to be set upon the hill of Tara, where the ancient kings of Ireland were crowned. Thence it was taken by the Celtic Scots who invaded and occupied Scotland about 840 CE. It was taken by Kenneth MacAlpin to the village of Scone. At Scone, historically, the stone came to be encased in a seat. John de Balliol was the last Scottish king crowned on it in 1292, before Edward I of England invaded Scotland in 1296 and moved the stone and other Scottish regalia to London. Looks like the Star of David again, depicted by a Catholic king of Rome. There at Westminster Abbey in 1307, he had a special throne called the coronation chair, built so that the stone fitted under it. This was to be the symbol that kings of England would be crowned as kings of Scotland also. This coronation chair was also referred to as by many histories as Edward the Confessor's throne, Roman Catholic, almost like a shrine to the saint. Born in June 1239 at Westminster, Edward was named by his father Henry III after the last Anglo-Saxon king and his father's favourite saint, Edward the Confessor, a Roman Catholic king. Edward's parents were renowned for their patronage of the arts. His mother, Eleanor of Provence, encouraged Henry III to spend money on the arts, which included the rebuilding of Westminster Abbey and a still extant magnificent shrine to house the body of Edward the Confessor. Edward I's early years brought a flurry of new legislation, some dealing with administrative abuses and land reform, while others dealt with widespread conspiracies about the English Jewry. However, at least he upheld and avoided removing Magna Carta, sort of. Jews were maltreated, attacked and finally expelled from the realm. They fled to Spain and North Africa, while the bankers of Florence and Siena became the new lenders of choice for England. The Jews would not again be open to England until the rule of Oliver Cromwell, centuries later. In other words, a Calvinist dictator, Cromwell, would break down the Jewish blockade that was once constructed by a Catholic king, Edward I. They can take our lives, but they can never take our freedom. Remember that famous line? Edward's forces, led by the Earl of Surrey, defeated the Scottish army at Dunbar in 1296, and Balliol was locked away in the Tower of London. Edward dethroned Balliol, and he removed the ancient Stone of Scone, also called the Stone of Destiny, which all Scottish kings had been crowned upon for centuries. He brought it to Westminster, where it sat beneath the English coronation chair for hundreds of years. Scotland was now directly occupied by a then Catholic England. Yep, that's right, stolen by a Catholic king. Popular discontent was aroused among the people, particularly under the modest but fierce warrior named William Wallace. He led Scottish forces to victory against the English at the Battle of Stirling Bridge in 1297, but the following year he was sorely beaten at Falkirk. Wallace continued to fight, but now most of the Scottish nobles had given up and submitted to Edward. In 1298, Wallace was captured and taken to London, where he was hanged, drawn, and quartered. Wallace's limbs were displayed as a warning at 4 different locations in northern England and Scotland: Newcastle, Berwick, Stirling, and Aberdeen. Obviously, we are not going to go right into the whole history, or you, the reader, would be reading for thousands of hours like many of us researching have done here at Sovereign Australian for over 20 years. We are trying to keep it simple.